How is our Kwanzaa, brothers and sisters? Today's principle is Kujichaguila, is day number 2 of Kwanzaa. There's 7 principles. On each day, that particular principle is to be discussed. Proper greeting of the day is Habari Gani, okay, meaning what's the news, is Kiswahili. And your response is supposed to be that particular principle of the day. So today is Kujichaguila. So I say to you all, Habari Gani. And for those who are out there, if you can type in what is the principle of the day, uh, that'll be great. So we're going to dive in right now. Kujichagulia is self-determination, self-determination. And we're dealing with to define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. Not a whole lot to say. It's very simple, right? You know, myself, I found out what my actual ethnicity is. I took my African ancestry DNA test. And the reason why I did that is because I wanted to know exactly what people I came from, right? So I could get a traditional name that will marry with my actual ethnicity. Okay, so for those of you who are on Instagram, you can't see it. If you want to actually see it, go to EY Pele Movement on YouTube, and you'll be able to see the presentation I'm getting ready to do. Okay, so let me show you guys right here. Okay, so this is when I got my certification, proving that I'm Mende. Okay, from the African ancestry. Okay, it is definitely a shame that we have to do it, but unfortunately, our ancestors were detached from who and what we are. Okay, and this is the reason why this is so important, because it connects us to our culture. And what I've come to find is our culture connects us to our spirituality. And the root word in spirituality is spirit. So we began to find out who we really are. And it's not uh, who we are in the mirror is what we're trying to find out. But we're trying to find out who we are spiritually. Okay. And so also right here, this is when I actually got my name change certified by the court. So you can see that Bakari Jumboa is literally my legal name. Okay, so it's not just a social media name I'm using. Okay, but it actually is my legal name. All right. Culturally speaking, our people believe in the power of the name. Okay, the name actually is supposed to speak for who you are as a person. Okay, right here you see I got my actual ancestry DNA results on my mama side. Okay, and my baba side. Right. So the first one you seen was the Mende. That is through my actual maternal lineage. Okay, my paternal lineage, I am a Kele. Okay, my people are from Gabon, the Kele people. The Mende people are from Sierra Leone. All right, and so being that because my mother is the one who raised me, I had a close relationship with my mother. Unfortunately, I didn't have that close relationship with my baba. Okay, so I went with a Mende name. Okay, so my name is Bakari Jambor. Okay, Jambor actually means to like to mix, to blend in, to bring together. Okay, it's a warrior name, a name of a Mende warrior over in Sierra Leone in the Bellevue side of the house. Okay, and so long story short is okay that I renamed myself because a name means a lot. Okay, when they named us, it was a sense of ownership. Okay, when someone, uh, the Sam Walton family called it Walmart. Okay, when you think about Ralph Lauren, you know, you think about Polo. You know, when you hear that name, you know he owns Polo. You know what I'm saying? When you hear Ford, when you hear Chrysler, okay, it's a brand. The family name is actually a brand, and you know that that family owns that particular company. Okay, so this is the reason why, you know, I believe that we should rid ourselves of European names. Okay, and the reason being is because first of all, we're not obviously European, and so a lot of us we run away from that because we have a fear of them not accepting us. Okay, if we have an actual ethnical name, okay, which is hypocrisy, right? This is supposed to be the land of the free, right? The home of the brave, correct? So if it's so much so the land of the free, then why are we not freely being ourselves? Why is it that we have this fear then of the repercussion of us embracing ourselves? Why is that? So if it was true to the land of the free and we experience freedom here, then why do we feel the way that we feel about that? Right? So we have to really deal with that. Okay. So to define ourselves, who called us black? Where did that come from? Right? You know what I'm saying? Um, we have to deal with that. You know, who called us African American? You know what I'm saying? Like where did that come from? Right? Once upon a time, not long ago, we associate ourselves with our people. Okay, if you're Zulu, you say I'm Zulu. If you're Yoruba, you say I'm Yoruba. Okay, uh, if you're a Khan, you say that you're a Khan, etc. Okay, but many of us cannot make that proclamation because the truth is we don't even know. Some of us don't know exactly where we come from. Okay, which leaves us in the dark. Okay. Uh, and this is the reason why a lot of us are also disconnected from our spirituality because we've been cut off from our spirituality. Okay. We didn't lose our culture. All right. It was taken from us. Okay. We've been disconnected from us. Okay. You can't misplace your culture. You understand? So this is the reason why it's important for us to get back in touch with who and what we are. Okay. So we can find out who and what we are. Okay, this is what I noticed as a person who is a freedom fighter. Okay, many people will get upset with you that have a colonized mind. Okay, when you are seeking to help them, to liberate them. Okay, many people get mad with the freedom fighter, but not the one who took our freedom. You understand? Many people get mad with the one who's coming to bring liberation, okay, but don't get upset with the one who incarcerated us. So why are you upset with the one who's bringing liberation and not the one who enforced incarceration mentally, okay, on our minds, okay? Okay, why is it that you don't accept who and what you are? Where did this problem come from? And see, this is a problem that many of us have, and a lot of us don't like to deal with it because it's very painful for a lot of us because we don't know exactly who and what we are. You know what I'm saying? We don't know exactly what country we come from, what people we come from. And this is a perfect example that colonization still affects us today because many of us are still not cognizant or aware of who and what we really are. You understand? So many of us will shun our African spirituality because we've been brainwashed to believe, okay, that our spirituality is satanic. Our spirituality is wicked. We must understand we didn't come over here on this continent thinking that way. So how did we get in the condition that we're in? Via colonization. Okay, our lives was rudely disrupted by colonization. Okay, and we have to deal with that. We have a right, okay, to be who and what we are. That's simply a human right. Okay, it is wrong for anyone to impose their culture on anybody. Okay, that is the bottom line. We have a right, okay, to define ourselves, to name ourselves. Okay, so if anybody's seen the movie Roots, you'll see that he kept beating um Kunta Kinte until he said his name, if I'm not mistaken, is Toby. Do you understand? So okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep you from getting jobs. We're going to punish you economically when you reject the Eurocentric uh, colonizational way of doing business. Okay, we're going to ostracize you, and then so some of us are so brainwashed. This is colonization. It's not any mockery. Nothing to me is funny about it. It's not for me to get mad at my brother and my sister because by default we're born into a colonized mind. Okay, so a lot of us began to shun that. Why we get afraid to get near somebody who's a freedom fighter, who's a liberator, because we're afraid of the persecution that goes along with it. So think about this. There again, I have to revisit this. If it's truly the land of the free, then why is it so much of a problem for us to be freely ourselves? Okay? Why do we as a people run away from ourselves? Okay? That stigma comes from colonization, and we have to deal with that. So many of us, we get caught up in the meninscal rights. And for those who don't know what that word means, meninscal is the small rights or the little bit of rights, okay, that we have. And so we like to, some of us who are colonized, we like to continue to defend that. And some of us like to tell each other to go back to Africa like we're not from Africa. Or even if your ancestors didn't come from Africa and they was already here, and your ancestors are indigenous to this continent, okay? Yet and still, our ancestors, whether your ancestors was here on the continent called the United States of America, or whether or not your ancestors came over here, okay, on the boat. Listen to me very clearly. Even though we did not come over here on the same ship, all of us are in the same boat, okay, as it relates to colonization. So it matters not whether you was here already or you came over here on a ship. We all have been colonized. Okay, all of us that are indigenous who were here or came over here, okay, on a boat. All right, listen, we all are in the same situation. And most of us, okay, some of our family members, you know, did preserve our culture. Like my roots is also Gullah Geechee. Okay, my family, you know, came from Sierra Leone. Okay, they speak Creole. All right, so I found this out. Excuse me, just 1 minute. Got to get a little sip of water here real quick. I get that good old spring water. Okay, so I found this out by research. Okay, and then what I did was I disseminated that information to my family. Okay, and I read myself. My name used to be Alton D. Walden III. Okay, that is a straight up, full blown European name. Okay, and I got rid of that name because they named us after them as a sense of ownership. That's the reason why I can't stand when somebody call me Alton. Okay, that is an English name. It is a European name. Okay, and the last name I used to have, Walden, pretty much that was the colonizer who had enslaved my ancestors. So I'm not that passionate, okay, about having that name. That's why at the family reunion, I told my cousin, I'm not wearing no t-shirt with that name on it. I'm not wearing no t-shirt with that name on it at all. You know what I'm saying? And some of us, we're so proud. Oh, I'm a Robinson. Oh, I'm a Jackson. Oh, I'm a, you know, I'm a Williams. And we don't even recognize that we're proud of the colonizer's name. But we shun our own name. This is how you know that the effects of colonization is still affecting us today. Many people want to say, oh, slavery is over. No, the mental slavery is not over. And until we all accept who and what we are, until we all return back to our actual ethnic group and we take upon our cultural names, that means that we still have work to do as it relates to those who are freedom fighters seeking to liberate our people. We have to bring this to our people's attention. How many of us celebrated Christmas? But here it is, Kwanzaa, and I'm not throwing no shots. I'm just bringing this to your attention. You know the reason why a lot of us don't celebrate Kwanzaa? Because even when I was growing up, we was taught that it was wicked. Nobody did their studying. Nobody did their research, because had they done that, then they would have found out there's nothing, okay, there's no spiritual ritual, if you will, conjuring of a wicked spirit. First of all, we don't worship our ancestors. We honor our ancestors. Here is what I want to use to speak to the point that I'm making. Okay. Who has a problem with Memorial Day? I got to go in. Who has a problem with Memorial Day? A lot of our people celebrate Memorial Day, and it's to remember those who were soldiers or those who were veterans that actually lost their lives. right? It's to commemorate them. It's to remember them. It is to what? Honor them. But when it comes to ancestor veneration, meaning ancestral honoring or commemoration, if you will, in modern day terms, because our ancestors didn't use these certain terms, you understand? You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to that, now our spirituality, our culture now is being labeled as satanic. But why is it not satanic when the Catholics honor the saints? If you know anything about the saints, they used to be human. Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You understand what I'm saying? So they honor the saints. So it's not by happenstance that our culture is being demonized and theirs is being praised. Why is it that everything that's associated with being an African is demonized? And we, even as African people, demonize it, and we love to justify, okay, that it was in East Africa. What you fail to understand is Christianity, as you know it today, is not the same. First of all, the New Testament was written in Greek. Okay, it's not Hebrew. Okay, let's be clear. And when you start thinking about the Old Testament, we got to deal with this. We got to touch on this because a lot of us don't really understand this. Okay, so when you start dealing with the Hebraic text, okay, you start dealing with, look at Exodus, okay, look at the different stories of Moses and all of the prophets. Look who they were talking to. Even Malachi chapter number 3, verse number 1, you know what it says? To the house of Israel. It was to the Israelite. Why you think you constantly hear it to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? You know what I'm saying? Pay close attention when you go back and study the Bible. Pay close attention to the who. Who is the message being given to? It was given to the Israelites. That message was not sent to the world. You understand? And these things have to be highlighted because it's the truth. A lot of us, we misinterpret it because of Christianity. Christianity has taken those texts, okay, and has misinterpreted. You know, the colonizer, okay, has taken fragmentations of different spiritual systems and added it in there, okay, because even the kingdom within, that's a African principle. It is literally on the walls of Kemet, the glyphs, okay, the I am that I am, the King of Kings, okay, that was associated with Asar. Yeah, check the record. And Asar predates the Bible and Jesus. I know it's going to mess some of you up theologically because unbeknownst to a lot of us, by default, you know, we were born into a family that religion was imposed upon. And so many of us get upset. And see, this is how you know we colonize. Because, you know, first of all, you are the victim. Now, how can you as the victim be upset with your brother and your sister who's coming to bring you freedom teaching to help you to actually understand historically what has happened to us as a people? So why are you so angry? Think about it. Why are you so angry when that religion was forced on our ancestors? You got to understand that our culture, our way of life was rudely interrupted, okay, by colonization. Okay, there are certain spiritual systems that we practice, just like the Yoruba practice Ifa. Over in West Africa, like Benin and over there, you know, where the Akans are, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? They had their own spiritual systems until they were colonized. And over in Kemet, you know, they had a set, Asar, Haru, okay, which the colonizer has said is wicked, although the priests that they have actually went into Kemet to actually learn from the Kemetic priests, from the Nubian priests. But people don't want to talk about that because people get upset. And this is how I know that we still got some work to do amongst ourselves because we get upset with our brother and our sister and we want to start rebuking the devil. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, Satan, the Lord rebuke you, and all these other things like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, if the devil is the liar, who's the one that's really talking to you? Because you got to understand that what I'm saying is facts. There's no debunking what I'm telling you. We did not come over here Christians. That's a historical fact. You may have some of us come over here as Muslims. Okay? But we did not come over here Christian. You understand? And I know because I trace my roots in my culture and I trace what we actually practice. Because, first of all, the concept of a creator, which we get demonized about, okay, when we use our African tongue, which is talking about the supreme creator, for us, it's Ongewu. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking about the Mende. And that's the supreme creator. Before we even came over to America, African people already had the concept of a creator. Do you understand? Olodumare for the Yoruba people. You understand? We already had that concept of a creator, the supreme creator of all things. They didn't need to teach us that with religion. We didn't need the Bible for us to understand that. We already had that concept. That's not nothing that they taught to us, that there is a creator. We already were aware of that. You understand? We were already civilized. And it's a foolish thing to think that slavery civilized us when that's one of the major reasons why we are out of our minds to date. It separated our families. It took away our economics. It took away our self-esteem. It totally stripped us of our culture and who and what we are. And now we walk around with a European mind. And this is the reason why we distance ourselves from our own people. And we run away from ourselves. And this is the reason why Kujichaguila is so important, that we have to define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. We have to speak out. We can't just sit down and just be quiet and be so afraid of what the consequences is going to be, because guess what? We wouldn't have the freedoms that we have today if our ancestors did that. If they allow fear to conquer them, we wouldn't be where we are today. Our ancestors fought not for civil rights per se, but they fought for our human rights. You understand? So we could be free. Free what? To live, to be ourselves, to take care of our families. You understand? You understand? So this fight is not for us to remain like them. Why would you want to be like the one who enslaved you? That makes no sense. And this is how you know that we're still dealing with the mind of being enslaved. We don't even recognize we're doing it. That's the reason why we want to straighten out our hair and you know things that nature. You understand what I'm saying? This is the reason why we like to use certain vernacular and enunciation of our words. And you understand what I'm saying? This is why we want to dress a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Because we want to be accepted. We want to be accepted. Okay, I appreciate you, sis. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, that's my biological sister right there, man. Thank you for stopping in, family. Peace. Love you. So, that's where I'm at with that right there. You know what I mean? So it don't take long to touch on this. I believe you all have the point. I just have to highlight these things because we have to stop running away from it and stop acting like everything is okay, because it's not okay, family. It's not okay. It's not. Okay. So a lot of us are still being redlined. Gentrification is still happening. Okay, a lot of us are still being denied jobs. Okay, a lot of our people are still living in poor living conditions. Okay, rat infested, crime infested, drug infested. Okay, so it's not okay. And we have to remember that we're never above our people. And see, this is the reason why this type of teaching is so important. So we can go back to having a village mindset, because so many of us like to use other ethnic groups. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? Europeans weren't colonized. The Chinese weren't colonized. The Jews weren't colonized. The ones that say that they're Jews, the Ashkenazis, the Sephardic, they weren't colonized. Although, you know what I'm saying? They went through what they went through with Hitler. They were not colonized. You understand what I'm saying? We were the ones who were colonized. And also you have the indigenous people. A lot of people say, it talks about, the Cherokees and, the Blackfoots and, so many other ones that, people that were here on this land too, you know what I'm saying, who were actually colonized as well. You understand what I'm saying? So, we have to reconnect with what we've been disconnected with, because a lot of us don't understand that a lot of our families were entrepreneurs. I'm talking about historically speaking. We were entrepreneurs. And we're going to deal with that. We're going to deal with that on let's see, tomorrow is Ujamaa. That's Thursday. So on Friday, we got cooperative economics. And we're going to deal with that on Friday. Ujamaa, cooperative economics, because a lot of our ancestors were entrepreneurs. They were just entrepreneurs during that time, because remember, we didn't have all these businesses and things like we had back then. So a lot of our ancestors were entrepreneurs. A lot of us don't know and understand that. So a lot of things that we be talking about, like as if though we never done it, but we have done it. We've been practicing cooperative economics. We have to get reconnected with doing that. Okay. And that's where it goes into creating for ourselves. We got to start teaching our children how to have a entrepreneur mind, and to go and to start businesses and to create jobs. You understand what I'm saying? Because just because you create a business, don't necessarily you create a job per se. You understand? It takes you to have a certain amount of revenue coming in order for you to hire somebody. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to build that business to the point where, okay, you can start hiring people. Okay, except for when you start certain franchises like Burger King, McDonald's, and so many other things, that comes along with having employees. Okay, you know what I'm saying? But you also, again, like I said, you have to have that revenue. And we're going to talk about it again on Friday, Ujamaa Cooperative Economics, because that goes into creating for ourselves. Okay, just like Ujamaa deals with to build and maintain. Ujamaa deals with to build and maintain. Okay, so Ujamaa is to build and maintain our community, okay, together. And then Ujamaa is to build and maintain our stores, shop, and other businesses, right? So again, we're going to deal with that, you know what I'm saying, later on. Hopefully you all enjoyed the message. If you did, make sure you tag somebody, and invite them, you know what I'm saying? Right now I'm pretty much posting for the 7 days of Kwanzaa. I'm posting all the principles. I'm also giving you the website. Okay, some brother try to correct me about how to do the actual candle lighting. Okay, let me be clear. Okay, I actually got it from Walemu Karinga. Okay, I actually got it from Walemu Karinga's website. Okay, literally, I put the link out there on the website. Okay, so I got it from the source. Okay, so I don't do this reaching and grabbing. Let me be clear. I don't do reaching and grabbing on nothing that I'm talking about. Okay, I always go to the source. Okay, for me to disseminate information with you, I'm always going to give you the reference. So every time I post it, every day I post that link, okay, where you can actually click on that link and go to the website for yourself, to Baba Mwalemu, okay, Karinga's website, the official website, okay, that he started. All right, and you can actually get the information directly from, the source who started in the United States of America. Okay. All right. So hopefully you all enjoying your Kwanzaa celebration. Hopefully you're incorporating your family into it. Okay. Because that's what we're supposed to be doing. We actually supposed to be celebrating it as a family. Okay. This is what it's all about. And we supposed to enjoy our blessings together. Okay. So let us all come together as one. And remember, all right, this is not demonic in nature. No matter what your religion is, you can actually celebrate Kwanzaa because, again, it's not religious. Okay. It is a tradition, it is a part of culture. There's no conjuring of demons, okay, in spirits. All right. Contrary to popular beliefs, that's a lie. We do not do that. We just simply honor our ancestors. We don't worship our ancestors. Okay. So we have to rid ourselves of these lies. We do not worship the devil. Okay. We're not calling on demons. All right. And conjuring up spirits. We're just giving thanks to our ancestors, known and unknown before us. We're just simply honoring them. All right. And thanking them for all the wonderful things that they have done for us when they were here with us. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. All right. Because just like we honor the Honorable Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., is he here anymore in the flesh? No, he's not. But what we do, we honor him. That is a day of commemoration to the ancestor, Honorable Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Why? Because he laid down his life so we can have a better life. So we need to get clarity, and we got to get rid of these Eurocentric colonized, okay, ideologies, because it causes even some of you disrespecting us, you know what I'm saying, and calling us devils and calling us satanic and disrespecting us when that's not even our nature. Okay, we don't believe in robbing, stealing, and killing, and committing adultery. And those who practice spirituality, I know this because I'm a practitioner of it. And it teaches you to be upright and to be moral. So be careful with your tongues. Be very careful with your tongues. Be very careful with your tongues, because some of you are disrespecting us and you don't even know it. And you're disrespecting your own self and you don't even know it. Keep coming. Keep following. Join the teachings. I'm not trying to teach you to be like me. I'm trying to teach you to be yourself. Peace and love. My brother Enlightened Knights Miller said people really need to hear that. Ashe, my brother. Ashe. All right, peace, family. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Be talking to you all soon.